I never believed in ghosts. At least not until I worked the night shift at a small motel on the outskirts of town. During the day, it looked completely normal. But at night, it felt more like an abandoned building. Before I started working there, I had heard strange rumors about room 205. Guests would leave in the middle of the night without a word. Some would call the front desk, panicked, asking, "Why is there someone standing in my room?" Others booked the room online, but never showed up. When I asked the manager about it, he only said one thing: "Just do your job. Don't ask questions." I didn't believe in ghost stories. Until one summer night in 2018. A strange guest at 2 a.m. That night, around 2 a.m., the door buzzer rang. A man walked in. He was wearing a long gray coat and an old-fashioned hat, pulled low over his face. His skin was pale, almost sickly white. But the most unsettling thing was his eyes. Deep, hollow, lifeless, like he hadn't slept in days. He approached the counter and spoke in a rough, raspy voice. "I need a room. Is 205 available?" My breath caught in my throat. I wanted to offer him another room, but something about his stare made me deeply uncomfortable. In the end, I handed him the key. As I did, my fingers brushed against his hand. Ice cold. Not just normal cold. Cold like a corpse. 3:15 a.m., an empty room. After the guest left, I went back to my work. Everything seemed fine, until 3:15 a.m. The security monitor glitched and flickered. I switched to room 205's feed. The door was wide open. The lights inside flickered. The room was empty. A chill ran down my spine. No way. Just an hour ago, I had personally handed him the key. I rushed upstairs. The hallway was dark, lit only by the dim yellow glow of old ceiling lights. I stopped at room 205. The door was open. I took a deep breath and stepped inside. No one was there. No luggage. No sign that anyone had been inside. No trace of the man at all. But there was something else. A voice. A low, raspy whisper, coming from the darkest corner of the room. I could feel it. Someone was standing there, watching me. I swallowed hard, pulled out my phone, turned on the flashlight. Nothing. Just a small piece of paper on the table. I picked it up, my heart pounding in my chest. "Thank you for the room. See you again. JW." The mysterious initials. The next morning, I told my manager what happened. His face turned pale. Without a word, he led me into his office, opened his computer, and searched the motel's old records. Finally, he found an entry from 20 years ago. Date: July 10th, 1998. Guest name: James Wilkins' room, 205. Status: committed suicide in the room. Time of death: 3:15 a.m. Description: wearing a gray coat and old-fashioned hat. I felt the blood drain from my face. The man from last night. He wasn't my guest. He had been dead for 20 years. That day, I quit my job. But sometimes on cold, rainy nights, I still wonder. Has anyone else ever handed him a key?